Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Now, today we have got a big patch for Crimson Desert. So with the patches version 1.00.03, and this is a huge update, guys. It's one of those updates though where nothing looks like that crazy on paper when you read it, but when you actually play it, then you can notice it right away, and it changes a lot of stuff in the game. So before we get into the patch notes and the breakdown, I just wanted to say, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and if you're enjoying Crimson Desert, because I'm making guides, doing shorts on guides and tips and tricks, and I'll be doing breakdowns of all the patch notes and stuff like this. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So what actually matters, basically, one of the biggest things they have done in this patch is storage. So they finally added an actual proper storage system at your Howling Hill camp. And of course, I know that sounds like a very basic thing that, you know, should have been there from day one anyway, but if you've been playing the game, you already know how annoying the inventory management has been, right? You'd constantly be trying to figure out what to drop, what to keep or sell and get rid of. And yeah, it was just annoying. But now we can actually stash our stuff, you know, come back later when we want, just play the game and just enjoy. And to be honest, this is like a huge thing. It makes the experience a lot less frustrating. And a lot of people have been wanting this. And again, like I said, I understand it sounds basic, but it's finally here, guys. Now, the next big thing, which is one of the biggest things for me personally, is movement and controls. So this has been a massive complaint early on for myself and a lot of the community, especially if you're on keyboard and mouse like myself. So everything was just feeling off and a bit clunky, right? This patch helps to improve that a lot. So the movement now feels tighter, inputs are more, consistent. Overall, it just feels like what we would expect from a modern game. It's one of those changes that you can't obviously, you can't show it in the patch notes. You feel it when we get into the game and you start playing again. So another thing they've done, they've made a bunch of UI and quality of life changes. So it's the kind of stuff that adds up over time. It's nothing like flashy and like, whoa, this sort of thing. It's just menus are now a bit easier to navigate, interactions are less clunky, and tracking things like collectibles is more straightforward. Before, it kind of just felt like, the game was fighting against you a little bit, but now it's just, now you can just sort of enjoy the game a little bit more. It's a bit more fluid kind of thing. Gameplay wise, there's been quite a few balance tweaks, but it's mostly been around bosses. Now, I'm a little bit torn on this one because I don't really like this change personally. Leave me a comment down below what you think. Are you happy with this, or are you not happy with this? So what it looks like, I haven't fought any bosses yet after this patch, so I'm gonna have to do that later, but it looks like they're trying to change the difficulty a little bit, then rather than like completely rebalance the whole game. So before, there were some bosses that people were saying, and that I've obviously fought myself, where they hit hard, right? Like the quarry boss would hit you really hard, and it was a challenge. I enjoy that, but I understand a lot of people don't enjoy that. So this is obviously where they've made some changes. So it seems to be that they've made HP changes and damage changes to the bosses. So I guess it's going to be a bit more manageable now, and less frustrating for a lot of players. But again, like I said, I'm not a big fan of that, because I enjoy having a challenge and I enjoy the bosses being hard, because the mobs around the map and stuff, they're not a challenge. So, but anyway, I'll have to see when I actually play some bosses later on today. Now, performance is another area where this patch is going to help quite a bit. They fixed some issues with DLSS and FSR, especially around the ray reconstruction causing weird visual artifacts. A lot of players have been reporting better stability overall. So we should hopefully see fewer random drops, fewer weird like visual glitches, and just overall a better, cleaner, visual experience. And of course, there's a ton of bug fixes, so I'm not going to read those out, but fixes to crashes, stability issues, some console specific problems. Nothing super exciting, but obviously important. The game should now just feel more stable, which obviously should have really been there at launch. So without being too negative about it, it's a good patch, guys. It's a very good patch, but I have to, I can't sit here and be like, oh, W's all around. It's a very W patch, but this should have been, like the foundation of the game from the beginning. So obviously this isn't adding any new content or anything like that, but this is fixing the core experience, the stuff that we're going to be interacting with, constantly. And that matters obviously a lot, because a lot of people I've been seeing that have been turned off from the game was not just the controls and stuff like that, but a lot of people, if you just, all you have to do is browse the internet, and a lot of the criticism and complaints were about, including from myself, by the way, how the controls were janky, certain things were really weird. We wasn't even able to open the map and inventory from a keybind on PC and keyboard and mouse, but we can now do that, guys, which is huge. But obviously it's funny at the same time, because that should have been, obvious from the start. I don't know why that wasn't there from day one, from day dot. But the good thing is they're actually, they've been listening to the community. They are working really fast as well. And they're implementing all of these fixes and quality of life and changes. And again, the performance has also been a problem. But again, like I just said, they're also fixing the performance as well. So if they carry on doing this, I think the game could see, people being more happy. We've already seen, if you look over on X and Reddit and stuff, people are happy. They're happy with the storage changes. They're happy with obviously the keyboard and mouse changes. Some people are not happy with the boss changes, like myself. But overall, the vibe is kind of shifting. It's going from less doom and gloom to more positive, which is great to see, because the game is good, guys. So if you stop playing the game because it felt clunky or frustrating, if you haven't refunded it, I would urge you to try and play it again, because this definitely does improve the game. But if you were waiting for like a big major content update or something like that, this obviously isn't it. So this is just, like I said, the game's becoming more of what it should have been from the start. But what I am pleased with is if they keep updating at this pace and they keep adding more fixes and more improvements, I feel like the game could be in a really, really solid place. And over on the weekend, a few days ago, we did see that the player count did hit a new peak on Steam. So again, everything is showing signs of becoming more positive, better game, overall as well. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm happy for it. This is the kind of update, that is going to make me still play the game and still keep enjoying it and exploring. And yeah, I'm curious what you think though, guys. If you've played it, if you tried the new patch, does it feel better to you? Or are you still waiting for bigger changes? Or is the game just not for you? Which of course is fine as well. If the game isn't for you, then the game isn't for you. You can just move on and hopefully you find something else. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. As always, I'll put the link to the full patch notes in the description box down below. So if you want to go ahead, because like I said, there is a ton of stuff that you can read if you want to. But this was my quick TLDR and breakdown of the important things, the important changes and the important fixes. So hope you had a beautiful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you very, very soon. Take care. Peace.